So I don't know why is that I cannot see the live chat. I have no idea why. I do remember. Okay, probably because nobody has written. Probably that will be the reason why. And there's gonna be a small delay because I have my other phone working. I think I'm gonna just mute it. There we go. Someone has written, hey, hello, Darren. Hello, Darren. So we are finally reaching the first 1,000 subscribers, and trust me, I cannot believe I actually made it till here. I can't believe either how long it really took me. I was hoping it wouldn't take so long. Hello, Mopop Shop. Um, when I started the channel about 3 years ago, a little less than 3 years ago. And in all honesty, when I first started it, I really didn't think that I would reach the 1,000. And then it just kind of, I mean, I look back and it really doesn't look like that long, but now that I say it, it's been almost 3 years ever since the pandemic. This channel is a pandemic baby. So it's kind of like, oh wow. Uh, it kind of made something. So, I don't know. Probably you guys know that this is not my only channel I have. I have another channel on YouTube that I started about 10 years ago. But it's an English learning channel mostly. It's mostly for proficiency tests, so it's really not related to what I'm doing here. Uh, but now it's all about making this channel. I think every time you reach some sort of a milestone, you get more visibility, which I think it's just awesome. I remember when I reached my first 500, um, for some reason, when I reached the 500, then I had available the community messages. You know, the messages that YouTube channels have, like we can post pictures and links. It doesn't have to be a video, it's more like, like an Instagram kind of thing. And I remember I received around the same days, I received a comment from somebody saying that he had been looking for someone reacting to Star Trek and he couldn't find, and he was like actively looking, searching for someone reacting. And when I got the 500 subscribers, I appeared in his searches, and he was like, but you've been reacting way before I started searching, and for some reason you never came up in my results. And when I reached the 500, it started appearing on people's searches. I'm not complaining, that's just awesome. But I hope now that we've got the first K in the subs, maybe I'm gonna start getting a little more, probably I'll start appearing in more searches, or I will become more relevant to some other people. I have no idea. Um, yeah, I think that's the thing, that like when you get the threshold, it's like depending on what you reach is what you get. It's like unblock achievement, for some one what I call it. So I am actively working on Star Trek TOS season 2 episode 8. I've already watched it, but it's still in the works. It's still in the editing room, and this is going to be a YouTube reaction video. So um, it's gonna be available for everyone. Well, patrons get to see it 24 hours before everyone else, and then it's available for general audience. So I'm working actively on that. I also have Firefly episodes 4 and 3 also in the works. And as you probably guys saw in some of my comments, well, in some of my posts, I am also counting now votes for the Twilight Zone season 2 reaction videos. So I've already explained this a couple of times. I've made a compilation of lists by the experts, and that's how I got my first 10 episodes, and that's the ones that I've watched. I have to say, they were pretty good episodes. Many of them were very, well, obviously surprising, as the Twilight Zone is. But I don't know, they really had what I will call substance, or people will call it soul. They were very, very much complete. Some of them I didn't get like really hooked on them. I do Twilight Zone reviews on my own channel. That's how I found yours. There's somebody else also doing the Twilight Zone reactions, and I wanted to go visit because this person was also having like 400 views or 500 views, and I wanted to support the channel, so I'm gonna try to find it. So in case the three of us want to be watching on us, our views and all that. Um, I don't know. Are you doing them all? Yeah, I know it's the Twilight Zone. You can't go wrong. I don't know how good though is the new series. The one that I can watch on Amazon Prime. I've seen it there, but I'm not really sure I want to watch it because I don't know if it's going to be totally different. It's gonna make me lose the feeling that I already have from the Twilight Zone. But I have seen the one from the 80s, so I don't know. You know, the one from the 80s and the one from the 60s are very different, considering black and white and color, obviously. I do them occasionally for right now. I've had some life stuff happen. Yeah, I understand totally what you say. Like, there's always something happening that doesn't let the channel grow as you would wish, or as you can see other channels grow. And since this is a pandemic channel, this is obviously a channel that has been struggling because ever since the pandemic, a lot of things have changed, you know, in everybody's lives. So I understand totally what you say. But yeah, I'm just looking. The first season I watched on the Twilight Zone was the experts list. This is going to be the viewers list. The thing is that sometimes ever since I've been doing the lists, which was pretty much the beginning of this channel, ever since I've been doing the lists, sometimes I get pretty good surprises, sometimes I get pretty bad surprises. So sometimes people recommend some episodes and they get to be pretty bad, or sometimes they get to be exceedingly good. So most of the times um, when a lot of people have been voting for the same episode, that seems to be pretty promising. I mean, it's promising. So right now, from the Twilight Zone, the ones that I've seen that are very promising because I've seen them being mentioned in many of my other episodes and in the voting video. Will the real Martian please stand up? So that one's probably going to be a must for the next list. Um, I've seen a couple of people also have now suggested The Hunt, A Penny for Your Thoughts. Thanks, Captain MKJ. Let me go check my dogs because they were just having something to eat. Just let me check. Ah, sorry, Flash fell. Sorry. I don't know if you guys know, but Flash now has a little bit of difficulty walking and getting up and getting down. So, yeah, thanks for the 1,000 subs. Thanks. Um, so now it's been kind of difficult to be taking care of him because I have to be on him 24/7 because sometimes he falls and he can't get back up. So, the Howling Man number 12 looks just like you. And 4 o'clock. I have not seen any of those. I do, however, have the list. of all the 10 episodes that I've done in the past video that I made. And on the first episode I made from the Twilight Zone, I also had the list and the explanation of how I did it. So, by the minute, congratulate. Thank you, William. Really, really have no idea. I'm really happy to have reached the 1,000. I thought I was never gonna make it. I thought I was gonna reach probably 200, and then everything was gonna die down. And then what do you know? You know, yeah. And 200 was still very optimistic in my opinion at first, because I had no idea what I was doing, and you can totally see it in how terrible my episodes have been. In the beginning, they were awful. They were pretty bad. Now they are kind of not so bad, but yeah, it's been a very steep learning curve, I guess. So we're here, luckily. Um, but as far as the channel goes, I had to kind of slow a little bit with all the things that I was doing. I was reacting to a lot of series. I was doing Snowpiercer and The Boys and The Twilight Zone and Star Trek and Firefly. So I was doing four, and I had to cancel The Umbrella Academy because that one just didn't get any views. So I was like, I just stopped doing it. Um, so I was doing this five, and it was really difficult to keep up with all of them. So I just finished The Boys, the two seasons I've made of The Boys. I already finished Snowpiercer, and I finished The Twilight Zone, and I gave it a break. So right now I'm just handling Star Trek and Firefly for my patrons. However, um, the plan is that I could advance as much as I can with Star Trek, so that yeah, I'm doing The Boys. I did seasons 2 and 3 because by the time I started the channel, I had already watched season 1. I actually opened this channel somewhere in March before season 2 was premiered, so that's the reason why I couldn't do season 1. Um, but all the others are from beginning, all except for Twilight Zone. That was more like a canon, and depending on how well this second season does, I might be doing another, like the lower episode, so I can make 3 seasons of the Twilight Zone. But that depends on how much traction I can get from the first viewers list. So that will pretty much depend on you guys on how many episodes I might get. What about you? Do not listen to whatever. If you guys have a quarrel, I will pretend I see nothing, just for my own sake. Uh, so, yeah, that's pretty much. So the plan right now will be just to reincorporate the Twilight Zone to my YouTube reaction videos until The Boys is back up. Um, okay, like I said, if you guys have a quarrel, it's not gonna be on my turf now. It ain't going. So my idea is that I can finish the original series from Star Trek, and I can move directly onto the movies. And after I get all of the movies done, yeah, I think I'm gonna watch the first movies, and then I'm gonna watch the new generation. Or I don't know, probably the series continues. I don't know. I'll have to give that to a vote. I don't know which one should I react immediately after the original series, whether the series continues um, or the new generation. The thing is that I'm really scared about reacting to the new generation because I feel I'm gonna finish reacting to that series by the time I'm 50. And it's not an impossible task. I'm telling you right now, I could be 50 by the time I finish doing that. So I don't know how much I would be really enduring to that. Um, so that will depend pretty much on how well the series go and if the channel starts getting traction. The thing is, now that I've reached the 1,000, I am not really like, it gives me more hope to continue doing more series, obviously. The Outer Limits. I'm thinking about it. I was also thinking about maybe doing Adam Adamat, but it's kind of difficult to get. I've been really struggling to get that one. Strange New Worlds. Short, only 10 episodes. Well, I don't know. I think before I get to those, like after the new generation, there's a plethora of things I can watch. So I am not really sure. I could be watching Deep Space Nine. I could be watching Discovery. I could be watching Lower Decks. I could be watching um, all of the other. Like there's so many out there that I'm not sure. And like I said, just to finish the new generation, I'll probably be stuck in that series for like 4 years, as considering how fast I can go. Madman. Madman, I was actually talking about Adam Adamant. The other series that I have been considering to watch is Doctor Who. The thing is that I am really not versed at all in the Doctor Who series. And so the idea here is that I don't know where to start watching that one. That's the reason why I haven't really gone into. Plus, I have so many things to do right now that editing videos has just become a nightmare. But yeah, I was thinking about Doctor Who, Mad Men. Well, the thing is, Mad Men. I don't know how in the sci-fi genre we'll get to. Adam Adamant does consider a little bit of sci-fi. It's classic TV. So yeah, I was thinking maybe some of those. I was thinking maybe some of the original series that I wanted to start this channel with, which were some of the old Marvel and DC series like Wonder Woman, the Linda Carter series, or the old Spider-Man, or the old Hulk TV series. I don't know which ones I could get my hands on to. So that will depend on how the channel will continue. But so far, bringing back the Twilight Zone is a must. I promised from the moment I said hello in my last episode that I was gonna come back with a viewers list, and so here I am. But I also have to continue with Snowpiercer, because I really liked Snowpiercer, and if you haven't watched either the movie or the series, like from me, please watch it. Okay, it's a very good series. It's sci-fi in the end. It contains a little bit of the green message, but it's not so much on your face. It's already done. The problems are already there. Let me close the door. My dogs love to make a lot of noise. Um, so yeah, if you guys have the opportunity to watch it, there are only 10 episodes per season. Jennifer Connelly is a guarantee, as always. Unfortunately, we don't have Ed Harris on this. It's only in the movie, but not in the series. So yeah, I recommend it. Like it's a good series, and it's a good movie. I also enjoy the movie a lot. So it's a bit grim, I would say. A bit. It's not so bloody. I think the movie's pretty bloody, but the series is not that bloody. So it's handleable. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, watch it. And obviously, if you haven't watched The Boys, I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you if you don't watch The Boys. Then there's Ready, Say Miss Run Again. Thanks, LT. I'll continue here. I hope I get my next Star Trek episode by this weekend. You love The Boys. I love The Boys. That's the problem. I don't know what I would say to a person that would says I love The Boys, because it's a horrible series. It's a horrible, horrible series, but it touches great points, and it has a great story. I don't find as many cliches in the series as I would find in many others. And this is probably the reason why I keep watching series like The Boys, or why I enjoy so much Black Mirror. why I loved and then I hated Westworld and Game of Thrones. I was also thinking about reacting to House of the Dragon because I'm a big Game of Thrones fans. I got a couple of books over there from the Game of Thrones series. Um, so I had asked in one of my episodes if it was a good idea that I will react to House of the Dragon. I got one saying yes, and then I got another one saying no. So I got one, so I never touched the subject again. But yeah, I hope The Boys a Terrible Show done really well. Exactly, it's a terrible show done really well, and in all honesty, I think everybody in this series in The Boys is a great actor. And I think every single episode I've watched from the third season, I'm always praising Anthony Starr. Because he's amazing at portraying someone that it's impossible to exist, the crazy superhero with daddy issues, and mommy issues. So it's a great show from where I see it, and the fact that it has Simon Pegg in it just gets me immediately, So and Carl Urban, both in the Star Trek new movies. But yeah, so apparently I also have like a lot of changes that I want to do to the space here. Like I said, this is now the office. This was a back room I had. It was full of garbage, full of old stuff. I couldn't even walk in. The showrunner of The Boys also did a show that I've never seen called Supernatural stuff. I haven't seen it either, and I have heard about it, but I think I couldn't get it in my country, so that's the reason why I haven't watched it. But I hope I can get it, probably using a VPN or something, so that I'm available to watch a lot of shows. It's such an unfair thing that I cannot watch many things just because I live in the wrong country. Like, that's not a good way to get your audience hooked, So yeah, I sometimes struggle in order to watch some of the good series. Like I want to watch Spaced. It's one of those series that I've been dying to watch. The thing is that the only way I could find Spaced was on Daily Motion, and not in a good quality and without subtitles, and all of them are read, so it's kind of difficult for me to sometimes understand. I most of the times watch everything now with subtitles, everything I watch except if it's in Spanish, obviously. um, but it's a lot easier for me so that I don't totally misunderstand, especially if I'm reacting to the series. I prefer to watch everything with subtitles because that way I don't misunderstand things. And the one time that I couldn't watch with subtitles was with the Twilight Zone because I got them all in English without subtitles. And sometimes it was kind of difficult for me to understand what they were saying because sometimes the accent, sometimes something, noise, something, I wouldn't understand it. So I do need things with subtitles, as ridiculous as it might sound. I do. Makes it a lot more comfortable, especially for the reaction things. So not getting spaced with subtitles has really made me like, okay, I think I'm gonna wait a little more on that series. I would really love to watch it and share it here, because of how much I've heard people recommending it, and I really want to watch it. But yeah, the if the channel begins to first, I need to see if YouTube, in all of its wisdom and mercy, would make my channel eligible for monetization. I've already been monetizing the channel by setting up a patron, and every time I thank my patrons because they are the reason why I can continue doing it. If I hadn't set up my patron, I set up my patron about 2 years ago, and after a few trials and error, I was able to finally get the two memberships that are offered in my patron. The reason that I kept patrons and I've been keeping them for the past 2 years is the reason why I didn't stop at the 200 subscribers when things started to get really difficult. So now that the channel is at this point, YouTube will decide. Sorry, I heard a dog. Now that we're at this point, they will decide if they need to review the channel. It says that it might take a month for them to review if the channel is eligible. I am not 100% sure that it might get monetized. Thank you, William, and thank you for tuning in. Have a good night. If the channel does get eligible for monetization, then I might really start considering making this more, not a part-time job, because this is already a part-time job, by just editing and reacting and doing some other things like, shorts and advertisements and all that. It takes quite some time to do that. So if I start making some money out of it, plus the money I make from my other channel, then I might consider really making this like a fuller time job and spend more time into doing this, depending on how well it goes. So I hope that crossing this threshold is going to help me to appear to more Trekkies, especially, and more people interested in classic TV. Um, just for the sake that this channel might be entertaining. I know that for some people my channel is not the best cup of tea. They don't like certain quirks of my channel. I've received a couple of negative criticisms on my comments. I'm alright with them. Picard, I haven't watched, I mean, I haven't even watched the new generation. I know who Picard is, but I haven't watched anything. So I hear a lot of negative reviews on the new products that have been appearing from Star Trek. Like, a lot of people, you like tea. I like coffee as well. Um, Sorry, I was like, oh yeah, I've also heard that Discovery is pretty bad as well. And like I said, I can't criticize myself because I haven't even finished watching the first series. So I'm not even in the middle of the entire series, so I still feel myself kind of a newbie on the Star Trek universe for me to be really making a judgment about what to watch or what not to watch later. But certainly the next yes or yes, it's either going to be that series continues or the new generation. That will be up for the debate when I reach the last episodes of the third season of Star Trek the original series. That's pretty much the only course that I've already traced that it's going to happen with this channel would be that. Um, but I don't know if as soon as I start watching the new generation, I might also watch other Star Trek series simultaneously. That's something that I really haven't, like, I don't want to worry about it because I'm not even there. I'm just here like still watching it. But I was thinking maybe if I start watching the new generation, I might start watching also simultaneously something else. Like, I don't know. There are so many, Deep Space Nine maybe, or Enterprise, or I don't know, something. That depends on what the audience claims, what they want. That will depend, especially on you guys. Anyway, so I just wanted to make a quick celebration for the 1,000 subscribers. I am really excited that the channel is going on a good direction. I might say that it's being a bit slowly, but we're there, and that's what really makes me hopeful that maybe the channel was not such a bad investment of my time so far. I am already taking this out, but yeah, I was thinking maybe I shouldn't have started doing this. What the hell am I doing? Especially when I couldn't feel like the talking hits. When I couldn't find time to edit my videos and all that, I thought, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? But now I see that there it was a good reason for me to be doing it, and finally it's been in this here. The Kelvin timeline movies look amazing. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, slow and steady wins the race. Exactly. Um, I've been to here. I I just hope I can edit my videos more quickly because that's what's been slowing me down. Not so much reacting to the videos. That's kind of easy, obviously. But sitting my ass down in front of a computer for hours and hours to end, and then I get distracted. I don't want to keep doing that anymore. I get a headache. I want a glass of water and something, whatever, and I just interrupt everything I'm doing, and then it takes another day that I can continue right now. So that's me and the problem of editing videos. So that's why I was expecting, like, at some point that the channel will probably monetize. And like I said, even if I already have reached the 1000 subs, it doesn't mean that this will actually pay off as a full-time job. So I will have to rely still on my patrons and hope, hoping that my patron will do. um, if uh, YouTube decides not to monetize my channel anyway. I hope I do. The thing is, that I'm thinking it might not get monetized because I do have a couple of copyright strikes. Sorry, I need to check if Flash is okay. Let me check. I think he fell again. Oh no, he's okay. He's okay. He's just being noisy. Um, like I said, I have a couple of copyright strikes. I actually had to take off my Gojira video. Actually, I was wearing the same blouse, but I did the first Gojira movie from 1954. In case some of you guys didn't know, but about 2 years or a year and a half ago, my first movie I reacted to was the first Godzilla from 1954. Amazing movie. I really enjoyed it. Hello, Inde. Um, and I got a huge copyright strike, and it was like blocked everywhere. So I had to just delete the video. It's now only available for my patrons. It's in a private server, so all of my patrons can just watch the movie over there. Um, so that's the problem. And because I'm watching The Boys, I try to keep all the blood and all that blurred, but there's a lot of swearing on those shows, and sometimes I try to mute the swearing, but sometimes I'm swearing myself in those videos, so sometimes I bleep it, sometimes I don't. The animated series has the cast of the original Star Trek doing voiceovers. Oh, right, yeah, the animated series. So, well, that will depend on what you guys vote when I reach the end of the third season. What you choose, like, what should I watch next? That will definitely depend on you. But it will also depend on how easy it is for me to get to watch the episodes. Like I said before, watching some of the other episodes from the Marvel series and the DC comic series was very difficult, and Star Trek was the easiest thing to get. So I know that I have to start preparing the way to get my hands on those episodes, and that it's not only that I could watch them, is that I need to have them. Okay, for example, watching Star Trek is not just enough that I can watch it on Netflix. I cannot copy the files from Netflix so that you can see the reaction and then the little piece of the episode here. I need the file with the episode. So it is kind of difficult to get those. You cannot just record the screen when watching Netflix or Amazon Prime because they have this thing that when you start recording the screen, it just goes blank. You hear the audio, but you cannot see the image. It's a protection thing to avoid piracy. The thing is that I don't want the episodes to pirate them. I want the episodes so that I can criticize them and get the frame of what am I criticizing. and that's the freedom of I don't know what, according to whatever. So the problem is getting the episode so that I can have the file running here. That's what makes it difficult. So to for the Star Trek episodes, I had to go find them on a website that I will not say what website it is, but that's where I get the episodes at a very low resolution, which is okay for me. Thank you, Inda, for the congrats. Thank you, really. DVD Blu-rays. Yeah, I was thinking maybe the DVD or the Blu-rays. But getting the episodes from online sources has been, at least for the episodes and the series that I have been watching so far, it's been easy. The Boys, I found a website where I can download the videos. From Star Trek, I found one as well. Um, Firefly, I also found a website. And by the way, if any of my patrons are here, I don't know if you're a patron or not. I didn't make a mistake. Well, I made a mistake without knowing I was making a mistake, but it didn't make a mistake in the end, if that makes kind of sense. I know that the episodes from Firefly were broadcasted in the wrong order, and that was one of the main reasons why the series never became a success. Um, so the website from Firefly is good. I've been enjoying it so much. In all honesty, I've watched 5 episodes. So I stopped publishing the episodes for my patrons for a very stupid reason because I thought I have made a mistake. Here's the thing. The website where I got the episodes, the order of the files, I could say the order of the files is the order of how they should be. That's what I call right now the Joss Whedon series. That is starting on the first episode, the pilot, that is Serendipity, I think, episode 1 and 2, and then the train job, and then Bushwhacked and all that. The problem is that the website where I got them shows the name of the episodes in the order they would broadcast it. So, for example, I made a mistake on the first episode. So, the first episode that was broadcasted was the train job, and it should have been Serendipity or Firefly. I don't remember the name of the first episode. But the episode I watched was the actual. Hola, Julio. Um, so the first episode I watched was the real first episode. So I've been watching them in the Joss Whedon order, but I've been getting the names wrong. So until later, I realized that that was not the first episode, and then I was watching what would be the fourth episode according to the Joss Whedon um, list, and that will be Shindig. That's the name of the episode, Shindig. But in my list, it appeared that was Our Mrs. Reynolds. So sometimes at the beginning of my episodes, I say, "Oh, today's turn is for season the whatever Our Mrs. Reynolds," and then boom, I'm watching something called Shindig, and I'm like, "What the actual fuck?" It's that mistake. So I will continue watching Firefly because it's really entertaining. And at first, I wasn't really that much into the characters. I really wasn't that interested in some of the characters, but now slowly, very slowly, the characters have been growing on me. Like I was really against. I despised Jane, and now Jane seems to be a pretty cool character. It has its perks, like everyone else. Sorry, I need to read here. The first of your episodes I watched was the reaction to the Menagerie Part 1. The thing is, if you watched already The Cage, which is the first episode I reacted from Star Trek, you will see that I was really hooked on Captain Pike. I mean, and it has to be. In all honesty, that they picked, oh my god, Bruce Greenwood Bruce Greenwood is the one that is Captain Pike in the new movies. I totally understand why they picked that actor specifically, because they're both stunningly beautiful men, and dude, the guy was so handsome, and it's such a shame that he died so young and in such a good point of his career. And yeah, man, that was it was a very good surprise, and pretty much the fact that he was Captain Pike is why I watched The Searchers, the movie reaction I have with the John Wayne movie. That's the reason why. Um, and the fact that he was reduced to a, just a lump of meat with two different answers, like Black Mirror. Man, this guy was so much into the Black Mirror universe. Captain Pike, poor man. I mean, in all honesty, he was like in a simulation planet that was, messing around with his senses and his mind and his sanity, and then now he can only choose two, like yes or no. How awful! How awful to live like that. Um, but yeah, now from what I've heard, this other series is about Captain Pike's journeys. I think that's kind of interesting, considering how different Captain Pike from Captain Kirk is, and how different their views should be, but at the same time, they should have things in common for both have been made captains. So probably that will be an interesting journey to see some of his adventures, I'd say. So yeah, I have to admit, when I watched the Menagerie, I was properly pissed for Captain Pike's destiny, and even though Spock did a very nice, you know, probably humane, that will not be his kind of thing. But the fact that he did that, still, it's a gilded cage, you know. Jeffrey Hunter starred in a movie called Dimension 5. Oh, really? I'm going to write that one down. Dimension 5. I had a list of prospect movies that I would watch from Jeffrey Hunter. But then I just kind of settled down with The Searchers, because The Searchers is a great movie. Like, it's a grand production. Like, I really enjoyed it. So I guess I just felt satisfied with just that one movie. But I did have a list somewhere. I think I just erased it. Um, I wanted to watch more things from Susan Oliver as well. I had thought about making a list of William Shatner movies that didn't go that well, because I would have to watch The Spiders, and I hated The Spiders. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not really that sure. I wanted to make a couple of special things for the channel, considering how well liked Star Trek is, but I really haven't found the things that might really help the channel to invite more Treks to come over and watch it. But I don't know, probably some Trekkies do not like the channel because maybe the channel doesn't have the elements that they want, or some things I do are not suitable for a Trekkie channel. But like I said, this is not a Trek channel anyway, but my main audience is, so why not treating them right, you know? So I've been giving it a thought. I really haven't reached anything. I haven't really asked questions about what would people would like to watch. So that's why I haven't received any kind of suggestions of what things I could do here to make the experience more likable. I do wish that my channel could capture different segments, like not only Trekkies, but also people who like The Boys, who like Snowpiercer, that likes Firefly, whatever. So that's why I've been knocking on different doors. Now, the door that I will really, 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 really like to knock on is the fantasy door. But holy shit, people has been like, no, don't touch fantasy. But I like fantasy as well. I like fantasy, so I don't know. That's why I wanted to watch House of the Dragon, because I'm a big fan of fantasy as well. So I had thought about maybe making a competition between House of the Dragon or the Rings of Power. But now, ever since I've watched the criticism against it, I am definitely not gonna watch a soap opera with orcs. That's it. I'm not. So I wish there's something on the area of fantasy that some people might like that I could be entertained and do reaction videos out of. So we'll see. We'll see. In the meantime, those are the plans, like I told you. Just go back to the Twilight Zone with the viewers list. Finish on the Firefly. I know I like fantasy, but like I've seen all of the Lord of the Rings movies. What I didn't watch as the Rings of Power. Here's a suggestion for you: Stanley Kubrick's 2001. I've already watched it. This is the problem too, that people say, "Oh, I would like to watch you react to Blade Runner." I've memorized Blade Runner. Like there's no reaction to it. Oh, I just recently got Galaxy Quest. I've memorized Galaxy Quest. It's probably one of my favorite comedies. Um, so there's not a reaction to it. It's not like I cannot go like, oh hi, that's so funny. I know what Gorignac is. So yeah, some of your guys' recommendations, I just don't take them because I've already watched some of those. But there are things that I'm absolutely ignorant about and that I haven't watched. The next movie though that I'm watching, I got two movies already in the works. I haven't reacted to them. I was thinking about reacting to one of them tonight. What time is it? Shit. I have nothing where I can see my time. 9 o'clock. I don't know, but I need to finish my Top Gun series. I watched already the first Top Gun, and I was gonna watch Top Gun Maverick because everyone has been saying it's great. Plus, it has Ed Harris in it, and of course, I'm watching it. But I'm going to watch Forbidden Planet as the classic movie reaction. So I probably would be reacting to Forbidden Planet the next weekend. But movies, as you guys probably already guessed, take me a little longer to edit because they are pretty much 2 episodes of one Star Trek series, about an hour and a half. Sometimes those movies take more. So, it takes me a little longer to edit those. But those are the two next movies that I will be watching, and they're going to be for March and maybe April. Okay? And the Twilight Zone series will begin in the middle of March. So the next week I will be counting all of the votes. So if you guys haven't voted yet for any of the Twilight Zone episodes, this is your chance. Please go to the video where I got the voting open, sorry. Mention all of the episodes that you would want me to react to. And next week I will be counting the videos. I will post a quick video saying these are the episodes that I will be reacting to, and then I will begin with the episodes probably. What a save. I just watched that. I loved it so much. So yeah, that's what's gonna happen for the next 2 months. We'll be working a little more on the Star Trek episodes and on the Twilight Zone and on Firefly. Those are the three things that are going to be taking most of my attention, plus the two movies. So let's see and let's hope that I can advance a little more on the Star Trek episodes, considering on how much work I get. Because remember, I am teaching 2 days a week that take pretty much all of my day, and I am also dubbing videos from English into Spanish. So those two things really take up much of my time. So editing videos It's now more like the hobby I have. Let's hope I get this. Like I said, if this channel gets eligible for monetization, things are gonna change a lot. So yeah, the Lost World. I well, I'll have to check. Like I said, I had many plans of doing a movie a month. As you see, I've failed miserably because I haven't had the time to do it. But yeah, these two movies are a definite um, thing. Like these two are definitely happening. And then for the next movies, I do want them to be classic TV. I had thought maybe something that was not sci-fi. I tried westerns. Westerns are good. But I was thinking maybe I had made a voting between The Searchers and 12 Angry Men. And I still think maybe watching 12 Angry Men, it's a good idea. The problem though with certain movies, when they are slow cooking movies, they are not so good for reaction videos because most of the times you're like this. And that's it. Because you are listening, because you are paying attention, because you are understanding everything in the dialogues. And so most of the time you're just, and there's nothing, there's no reaction to it. So that's why sometimes slow burners are not a good choice. But I would like something of the great cinema, of the black and white times. There's so much that I need to watch, and I want to pick something really good from it. I got a great surprise with It's a Wonderful Life. So I don't know. I was thinking the one that I haven't watched. I would probably watch The Third Man. It's Orson Welles. I think it's from the same guy from Citizen Kane. I know it's a good thriller, and I've heard nothing but good reviews about it, and I know that it's got great plot twists, so that's why I want to watch that one. So I don't know, maybe. Sorry. Rod Serling wrote a time element episode of Westinghouse Desilu Playhouse. That was pretty much the thing that got Rod Serling the Twilight Zone. Well, I haven't watched any of those. The thing is that Rod Serling, by just imagining the concept of the Twilight Zone, that in my book, that's a genius. I think he was definitely a genius in doing that kind of show and trying to explore that part of the human mind, because the Twilight Zone is a lot about the mind. Is about fears, and it's about concepts, how we as human do things because we are humans. Those things could be good, those things could be bad. Most of them is about human condition, human nature, human behavior. So it's mostly about the mind and the way that Rod Serling approached it from the perspective from the Twilight Zone. Is just a genius thing to do because it's all about the mind in the end. It's just a different approach to explore it. So, bloody genius. And that's why, because I have in such a high regard the Twilight Zone, is why I am not. I'm still not sure about watching the new episodes from the newest series. That's what's been keeping me away from it because I don't want to feel disappointed. So do I get to I am a partner apparently now, but being a partner doesn't mean you make money out of it. But yeah, I got the welcome, like welcome to our partner program and whatnot, and so blah blah blah. So let's see what Mr. Google decides for my channel. So I'll see. Anyway, so thank you guys for joining me. I was gonna make this a 30-minute live stream, but I wanted also to show like the new set. It's habitable right now. Yeah, you showed up too late. It was at 8 Mexico City's time. Right now it's 9 in the morning. It's night already, 9 p.m. This is what the set is going to be like. I still here is, as you can see in this section, I still have an empty space. I don't know what other books should I put there. The thing is that I look at the books I have and they're too big, so they probably won't fit. But I want to finish that area with a little more books and obviously take all this crap out of here, like my yoga mat and some boxes, because I keep ordering a lot of things from Amazon and the Latin American version of Amazon. I keep doing a lot of those. So this will be, the set, maybe something behind me. I need to paint. As you can see, I still have some spots. Maybe change this chair in a future or just repair it because this is falling apart. And I also need to change the light that you can see here. This is an LED strip that I burned and then I repaired. But when I repaired it, for some reason, some of the buttons don't work anymore. So all I need to do is go get another LED strip and just install it where it goes. So that I mean, I'm not complaining. I like the bluish green finish that I have here, but I'm more into pink, as you guys probably noticed, and I prefer a pink looking room. So right now, this is the only color I can get. Yeah, it's getting a bit fancy. The thing is that I always wanted to get some place that will look okay for reaction videos, and here at least I could share some of the things that I like the most, some of my old VHS movies that I still own, some of the flags of places I've been to, little uh, plush dolls. Jamazon, no. Actually, Amazon should be the Latin American, considering where the Amazons are. But no, what we call it is Mercado Libre. Uh, but yeah, um, I use both services because by paying Prime, I get Amazon Prime, and by paying Mercado Libre, I get Disney Plus and Star Plus. It's a great deal having both services by a very cheap monthly payment. It's a very good investment. 30 VHS tapes of Star Trek TOS. That's a lot of space. Like, I have this three, and I have three more up in the shelves, but they are, like the ones that you could copy, rewritable, recordable VHS. So I got a couple of movies there, but I can't remember which ones I have. Movies that I probably caught on television and I wanted to keep them, and I used the VCR to record them. But these are like the three original movies. There are some of my favorites. Still have the soundtrack of one of them here. Now, what I do have a lot of are soundtracks. I wouldn't buy. I do have a lot of DVDs though. Like, I have a full furniture full of DVDs here. And I don't know why I still keep it. Maybe I should just trash everything. Like, why should I keep it anyway? Anyway, I am already just, rambling. Thank you for joining me. I will be posting the TOS episode probably this weekend. And the next week, probably around Wednesday, probably next Wednesday, I will have the list for all the Twilight Zone episodes that I will be reacting to. So you only have 1 week to continue voting. So that's what's going to happen. And let's see how fast I can make it to 2,000 subscribers. Yes, I'm gonna do Forbidden Planet, like I said. It's probably going to be March or April's movie because I want to finish on the Top Gun series. I got rid of a lot of my DVDs but kept the Blu-rays. I don't have a lot of Blu-rays. I most of the times just kept DVDs. And then the streaming platform started, so no reason to keep DVDs. I have like 3 or 4 maybe, so not really many. Anyway, I will be seeing you. I have to cut this short because I haven't eaten and I need to check a lot of things about my dogs as well. But it was fun. Thank you for being a subscriber. And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Go and subscribe to my channel. Anyway, see you guys. Take care. Bye bye. How do I finish this?